sometimes after 3 hours, just like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're like the train.
the scream, just like yeah. And after the screaming shot, don't tell anybody.
No, I feel you.
I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to meet Nene Music and her band.
Amazing show.
Thank you so much.
My first time seeing you live. You guys sounded great.
Thank you.
Love reacting to your music.
Thank
it
you
was
for
good.
coming too.
Who were complete professionals from top to bottom.
Dung, dung, dung.
Dallas traffic was an absolute nightmare. I didn't think there could be worse traffic than El Paso, Texas, but apparently, Dallas, you win. Must be a Texas thing. Everything's under construction. We arrived way too early, like 4 hours early to this gig. So we thought, let's grab something to eat, right? So it turns out it literally took us 4 hours just to get back from the restaurant, back to the venue. But to be fair, an hour of that was just trying to get out of the parking lot. We've been working at this for like 20 minutes already.
It's not that bad.
She's doing her best.
All right, we're out. We're free.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Wait, whoa. One of the things that I was intrigued about entering into the show was how they were going to mix the traditional music with the guitars and the drums. We hear it in the recording, but I know it's a whole different beast when you're playing this live. And something that I noticed was the guitars did feel quite low at the concert, but I think they did pretty well balancing everything out. You could hear the traditional instrument really well. Which I think is the main draw to the music, is to hear that. And the vocals sounded really good. So the guitar was more of in the back, but when the leads came up, they were right out in front. So I think overall it was like a good sound. I think they balanced that very well, because I was worried about not hearing those traditional instruments as much. A huge standout too for me at this concert was how Jesse's vocals, the other singer, really complemented Nene Music's vocals also. I liked that back and forth between her voice and his voice.
It just matched, you know. I think it was really cool to be able to hear the mix between her voice and my voice.
I agree.
You know, and then like the elements of the screaming going in there and not being too overwhelming, I think.
You have a lot of characteristics coming into the mix. He's really good, on point, was hitting those notes perfectly, which is very difficult to do when you're going from screaming, harsh vocals to singing. He mentions this during the interview, how he actually started doing harsh vocals and went to clean. A lot of singers that do that, they either can't get those clean vocals quite right, or like it's really hard to keep those sustained, nice, clean notes. But it sounds like he was able to properly transition and start doing his screams in a correct way.
I actually started off only screaming improperly, I think, and then I wanted to do better and I wanted to save my voice and preserve it, so I got vocal lessons, which really helped me just kind of correct the focus on how do I sing properly, how do I control how much air I'm using, which actually made it a lot easier to scream. As weird as that sounds, so not overpowering my voice to throw it out while screaming, so I can transition. The transition between singing and screaming, like singing into a scream, is really fun. I don't know if I could explain that.
The set list contained Logma, Huyao, Wukong, Mazu, and then they did this dueling banjos plus Flight of the Bumblebee. It was really cool. They were going back and forth with the banjo and guitar.
Yeah, I started in 2008. I really wanted to play drums, and the movie School of Rock, I really liked the kid in School of Rock. And my dad would show me like AC/DC and the Cars and bands like that. So kind of got me into music and wanting to play guitar.
Awesome.
So yeah,
awesome.
That's how I started playing ever since.
Well, I first got into drums about, I think it was like 2008. My dad noticed, like, I always wanted to just play along with all like the 80s stuff he was listening to, like Tommy Lee and Motley Crue was a huge influence at first. So then he finally got me a drum set, and I just would beat the piss out of it, you know, as hard as I could. And I was self-taught for a couple of years. But then my brother really got me into Avenged Sevenfold, and the Rev was my biggest, dude. R.I.P. The Rev was my biggest hero, dude.
absolutely loved it. I love the showmanship. Can't Help Falling in Love, Gone by Homeland, and they did Britney Spears. Hit Me Baby One More Time, which I knew they did that cover, but I completely forgot about it. And when that came on, I was really impressed with that song because the way that Jesse and Nene both went back and forth with their vocals. It really showed his capabilities and hers and the way that their voices mix really well together.
How has tour been treating you so far?
So I think this tour is my first time doing this like 1 month tour.
1 month? Oh,
and
okay.
I learned a lot of things for myself. I learned a lot of things like about like how you need to like working with the other musicians, each other, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm very exciting and everything is so good.
Any stories yet? Any tour stories?
I think I don't really have a lot of story, but I do meet a lot of fans. Like snow, like really cold, dangerous road, and going to a little bit hot, you know. But everything is really good. The car is good though.
Playing live here in the States, how does it compare to playing live in other places?
The people in here, I think it's more enjoy it, and then they will like very too serious to look at your merch.
What inspired you though to blend traditional Chinese instruments and storytelling with modern music?
So I play instrument like 25 years already.
Wow.
Really long. So when I child, I start to learn traditional style music.
Yeah.
I never touch any like metal rock style. No, not at all. But after I go into the street performance, you need to playing some popular music, right? The people will request the music like, oh, can you play Take On Me? And I just like, okay, what is a Take On Me, this song? And I start to listen, okay, I know this one, and then I start playing. So I touch so many different style music. After I tried so many different ones, like some people request like popular music, anime music, death metal, or metal, or AC/DC, blah, 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 so many. But after I found out, I feel my instrument playing like rock metal song, it's kind of cool, and I like that.
Yeah.
So I just like decided, okay, I will try this road to going.
What's your favorite anime song to cover?
Oh my God, this is hard. I would say for me to use my instrument to playing, I like playing JoJo.
Okay.
Golden Wing.
Golden Wing? Many of these instruments have unique histories and tonal qualities, very different tonal qualities for those instruments. Could you describe the specific challenge and reward of adopting them to genres they weren't traditionally intended for?
My instrument, my first one, the circle one, is called Run. That one, usually in the band, is kind of like background instrument. Okay. They never be a lead instrument. And the Sanshan is the one I play very long.
Okay.
That one, my school, we don't really use that instrument a lot. Even when I'm in Taiwan, I go performance. A lot of people, Taiwanese, they ask me like, what is that instrument? They don't know, you know? For myself, I feel like when I touch this instrument already 25 years, I always tell everybody like, I will play my instrument until when I die.
Yeah.
I will never stop, you know?
Awesome.
And I want to keep going share to the world about this instrument, how cool is it. When I use the instrument on the band, they are not very loud, you know? So sometimes like the drum hit, oh my God, you cannot hear my instrument at all. So we need to figure out a lot of different things. And like my circle instrument, that one, I use a less pickup, and it's kind of like making my instrument more strong sound. Also the other Sanshan, that one too.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so we still trying to figure out more and make more the sound more better, more loud, you know.
The Dayu, the electric flute,
Dayu.
it sounds incredibly intriguing. Can you tell us more about the design, the sound capabilities, and how it allows you to express yourself?
So that instrument is made, the style looks like it's made from the fighter. It's a traditional fighter. He also is a god in our culture. And we got a lot of temple about him. And his name is Guan Yu. Yeah, it's a fighter. And that is his weapon. So it looks like a weapon. It's like his knife. It's a weapon. Yeah, and one time when I doing the streaming, I meet the one making the instrument friend. He said he sent me message, hey, I want to building an instrument for you. Do you have any idea? And then we start talking. And that time I have my album. My album is about the 关羽. I have a song, it's 关羽. Also, today we play Mazu. Mazu is a sea god. So, and also we got a Sun Wukong. So that album is all about history music.
Oh,
yeah, so we just like, oh, I think we can build in his weapon. That sounds cool, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Can you share a specific musical memory from your childhood or early life that impacted you and set you on a path of becoming a musician?
So when I child, I remember one time it's some festival in Taiwan, and everybody celebrate at home, and then we have a barbecue at home, right?
Okay.
And that time I got some instrument competition, and my mom just like, no, you cannot eat. You need to sit inside, practice your instrument, you know. And then I'm crying. I just like, oh my god. Really, like outside, everybody just like barbecue and then drinking.
And you gotta practice.
And then I'm inside the house, and then just like, yes, but that's make me remember a lot, you know. And then I just like, I after the competition, I got a good number.
Yeah.
Good number. So I just like, oh, maybe I think I doing very well. Maybe I can keep going. Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, sometimes, you know, parents know best.
Yeah.
Who are some artists or musicians that you deeply admire and why? What specific qualities do you appreciate in their work?
I would say The Who.
Okay.
The Who. HU, that one.
Yeah. They're really good.
Yeah.
They're really good.
They from Mongolia, the metal too. And I feel like it's kind of like we're doing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's very interesting things is they don't really singing the English song, but the people like.
Yeah, they like it.
So I feel like
it's great.
Yeah, their style, the music, and also traditional instrument mixed with the metal rock style, and it's really unique too.
Yes.
So that is my idol. So I would say like, oh, my idol, my fan, I'm big fan. The Who.
You should do a tour with them.
Yes. The Who.
The Who. Please reach out to Nene Music and do a tour with them.
Yes.
What's something most people wouldn't guess about you, either related to music or just in general?
I think maybe on the stage I'm just more cool, but when I after the stage I kind of like my style, my voice is just like that, you know. And yeah, kind of a little bit shy. Yes.
Yeah, you let it all out on stage, right?
Yeah. So I think it's very different.
Beyond fame or commercial success, what are your biggest aspirations for your music career? What kind of impact do you ultimately hope to have?
So I feel like I'm the musician. I'm doing the music. It's not just because the money. You are the musician. You show out your cultural, the music style, and a lot of things, you know. And I feel you need to bring the energy to the people who like you.
Yeah.
Because I also got a lot of message like, oh, Nene, after I listen to your music, I got so many energy, and you made my day, you know, something like that.
Yep.
And when the people send this kind of message, I just feel like, oh my God, thank you so much. I don't know, when the beginning, I don't know, I have that power.
Yeah.
But after I got so many comments, and I feel like, oh yeah, when I need to keep going to doing, you know.
It motivates you.
I already know when I get old, you know what I'm going to do.
What are you gonna do when you get old?
I will keep going play music, of course. But I was doing like, because right now I have a lot of energy. So we're doing like metal rock. But when I want to doing like peaceful music.
Peaceful music? Okay.
Yeah, like kind of yoga style, you know. I already think about that. Yeah, so we go into yoga, you relax, or a lot of old people drinking a tea something, and I'm old too, so I can play doom, doom, doom. That's my idea.
So Nene Music in the future is going to be peaceful music.
Let's check out this video 30 years later, okay?
30 years later, we'll
see what we're doing.
Watch, you're still going to be doing metal.
No.
You're going to do peaceful metal.
Oh.
No, I was kidding.
Okay.
One last thing for you. Let everyone know what they can look forward to hearing from you next.
After we will go into the Europe tour and the UK tour, and then this year we also will have another tour coming soon in America this year. Yeah. So everybody can check out the social media to find out.
Yeah. Please go check it out. It's a good time. It's such a fast 30 minutes. I wish you played a little longer, just a little bit.
I know, right? We should be the main band.
Yeah.
One day.
An hour.
Yes.
How long do you think you could play for?
I don't know.
Well, you do streaming, so
Yeah, doing the streaming like 3 hours, 4 hours.
3 hours,
you
yeah.
know.
I do 3-hour sets every once in a while.
But sometimes after 3 hours, just like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're like the drain.
The screen just like, oh yeah. And after the screaming shot, oh. Don't tell everybody.
No, I feel you. That's what happens to me on my streams. I'm like, I'm dead.
But I think that they all understand. The people who watching, they understand.
Yeah.
Because you're just talking a lot, but they just need typing, you know? They don't need talking, but we
Telling
need
you,
talking.
yeah, you need to be talking. You need type faster.
We need support. That's the most important. All right.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.